So Ableton Live 12 now, and it's a very good update for Ableton because they integrated a lot of stuff for the user interface to make it more engaging and more suitable and customizable. And I think Ableton, in comparison to the other softwares, it's very modular. So you can always modulate it to what you need and transform it and map a lot of stuff for the MIDI. This is also a good advantage of Ableton, that you can map everything and control everything. And it's nice that you have the way to approach it to what you need, to what you want, and always like custom-made it is nice. And I think the first thing that we see when we look about, also when you open Ableton, it will look like that. And you have MIDI and you have audio. And MIDI and audio, they work slightly different. So MIDI, it's all these kind of interfaces, that the hardwares that we connect with the USB, and usually, and also like it can be from the computer when you create something with the keyboard of the computer, or you just like open the grid, for example, and you start to just touch here and just play here, and then it's also MIDI. It's not going to be the same if I will open audio and I don't have the same option. Like if I'm double tap it, I will open the clip. It's called clip. So here it's not going to do it. And here it's recording based on microphone, all a jack from the audio interface. So it's connected to the audio interface. Actually, I want to ask you, what kind of equipment do you have at the moment?
Well, actually nothing.
Ableton?
In terms of this?
Yeah.
Like nothing at all.
I have pretty much everything. I have this thingy. I forgot the name of it.
Audio interface.
Audio interface, yeah.
This, the keyboard.
MIDI keyboard, yeah.
And the headphones. I have a mic. And all of it is mine. Like, not my dad's,
It's yours?
it's mine.
Whoa,
Right.
that's great. And you?
I have a condenser mic and
Nice.
like a regular mic, an electric guitar, and an electric drum kit, and a loop station, like a Roland 505.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
nice.
So got a little bit, and headphones.
Oh yeah, I also have well, it's not really, it's like ours, it's my dad's and mine. It's like a really long electric keyboard, but it's at his studio,
Mm-hmm.
about like 10 minutes away from our house, so I don't really use it that often. I
Mhm.
used to though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay, that's good. So I think if you just have Ableton and you have like the MIDI track and the audio track, so it's mean that you can do with the MIDI all what you have with the keyboard of the computer and the mouse if you play with it, or the pad, or you can record in the audio from the mic of the computer.
Oh, nice.
So it's also possible. It's not going to be in high quality, but for the beginning, I think it's
Yeah,
fine.
it's
Like you don't need more than that. And you can connect the headphones with the aux.
Mm-hmm.
If you connect it with Bluetooth, it will have like a latency. So
Mm-hmm.
it's not going to be good in terms of like how it's directing the audio. And also we will talk about latency later.
Sometimes there's some sounds that are a little intense. When you put on the headphones, they have like a kind of bug. But then when you hear them on like a speaker, then they don't have that same bug.
I get
Mm. Like bug, what do you mean by bug?
But, well, if it has like something intense, like synth keys,
Mm-hmm.
and then sometimes it kind of freezes for like a half a second or like a millisecond when you have it in headphones, and then it's
So-
kind of
Okay.
glitchy.
Yeah, it could be. Also, it depends on the computer and the
Yeah.
setup of the computer and everything. Also, it's something to bear in mind that like this software it's quite intense for the computer, for the CPU and so on. So if you have a very old computer, also can be that it's not gonna run Ableton. Maybe in the beginning it will open it, but after you run a few tracks, so it's already like too much. So I think nowadays like you have also the standard for it is maybe like I think Ableton say 8 giga RAM, but I think it's 16. If 8 giga RAM is a bit too little, I think, and also like preferably SSD, and preferably as much as you can like Tera or something. I have like 500 and iCloud, and it's barely enough. And also hard disk if you want and stuff like that to backup and also for saving stuff. And yeah, and a good chip. Like I have M1, like MacBook Pro M1, and you see it survived it. Like, but when I'm running OBS now, it's another software, so it's two softwares and the projector and stuff like that. So it's already like start to be heavy for the computer. So I think if you're a gamer, it's great because you have the equipment for that. But actually, yeah, if you treat it like a gamer computer, so it will work much better. So yeah, that's something to bear in mind. So the glitch maybe that you said, it's related to the computer, it's not related to the software.
Yeah, sometimes.
It's not related to the
It's
sound.
My computer's it's pretty old.
Yeah.
It's like this size.
Yeah.
For like the main computer.
Mm-hmm.
So.
So we have like the tracks. So you see like 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we have like the clips. That's what it's vertically. So you go down, and each clip, it's like kind of a container of what you did. So if for example I want to transform it to, I took like a sound. Also you see there is like a latency of some sort, and this is also what latency feel like, and sometimes it's because of the audio interface and this speaker. It's not supposed to be a monitor, but for now this is what I have here. So the container is basically, the clip is basically what we have, this kind of loop. And it contains the information that we did, whether if it's like a MIDI information and audio information, like a waveform it will look like. And then you can adjust just the clip itself and not the track itself. And we will see it. In the beginning it's a bit confusing, but I think it's quite straightforward when you start to see how everything connected. And all the DAWs is a digital audio workstation. Basically, they try to mimic the studio that was in the past.
Oh, nice.
So digital audio workstation. Audio workstation is the studio that was back in the past, that basically it still exists nowadays, because when you have a studio with very, very expensive tools, so they can get to this quality that probably a home studio with just Ableton and audio interface and stuff like that will not get to it. Also because what I said before, like about the computer, that when the computer is not very strong, so it's not gonna perform in the best way. And if you have the best performance of the audio interface, the best performance of everything, so you can get to this kind of quality. So this is why I think it still exists in a way, because it's very expensive to buy all these kind of tools. And this is their advantage about us. But I think about creativity, and like what you need for beginners, I think it's very enough to just keep with what you need and what you have now, and not go straight away to a studio, a professional studio, and pay what they need. And this kind of layout of a track, it also comes from a layout of like audio amplifier that connect to the mixer, and then it's like kind of try to mimic the mixer with all this kind of data of the mixer. You have a lot of stuff that it's not there. For example, the MIDI, so it's not exist in the analog systems. It's a digital system, and what we have basically here, it's like you see here. So we have the volume, the gain staging it's also called. You have solo, so if you do, you solo the track, so it's just, you're gonna hear just this one. And we will talk about it later, but you can send to an effect from here. It's a bit more advanced. And also you have some information about from where it came from, where it goes, and we will talk about it later because I think it can be super technical. And if it's super technical, it's not fun anymore. I think it's we need to I want to keep it always fun in this sense, and along the way we will get into it, and if you have question I will answer to it, but I prefer now to skip it. Like, yeah. And you can arm the track, which means that if I'm not arm it, it's not gonna work. But if I'm arm it, so it will work. And you can also deactivate and activate the track, so it can work, and then you deactivate it, so it's not gonna work. Well, it's weird that this latency here. Also important thing from the beginning is to start to see also the audio in the preferences. Also the shortcut for that is Command comma, and then you can see which audio I connect here. So it's similar to video editing softwares and all of these kind of things. So the input, so now I have the input from Ableton, from this audio interface. This is a virtual audio interface that I can record it in OBS. It's not very important to say, but just in case you want to know. And the output, that I have multi-output device, so basically I can send it to the audio interface, and also I can send it to the speaker if I want, or something else. And this is the buffer size that we will talk about it. It also can be technical. But then just something to remember now, when it's a lower buffer size, it's better for recording an instrument. And when it's a bigger buffer size, it's better for mixing and adjusting the other stuff. I will get into it later. I don't know if today, but yeah, just remember this, because what you see here, when I increase the buffer size, I also increase the latency. And also another thing to remember, that when the buffer size is low, so also the computer will work harder. So maybe it's because it was on 32 samples now. This is why my computer was a bit too much now, and now maybe the latency will be fine. But usually when you have an instrument, they want to record an instrument, your vocal or something, you go to the lowest buffer size that you can, and it depends on your computer. Again, if you have a gamer computer, so maybe you can always keep the buffer size very low. It depends on the PC. I don't know which PC you have. But if you have a very strong PC, so I think for the beginning, I think it's nice to keep it moderate, so in the middle, kind of 512. And then like when you start to record something, like audio from the audio interface, from the mic, I mean, so it's go down to the 32, 64. Also, it depends on the computer. You have different driver type. For me, it's like just audio because it's a Mac. And you can also test the CPU usage and stuff like that. That is not very important for now. Also, another thing that may be nice for the beginning, you can change the layout, the theme. So if you want to make it, I don't know if you want lighter.
Oh wow.
Yeah, mine is like that actually.
Yeah, so up to you. I prefer the classic medium dark. Yeah.
This way.
Yeah, so you can change it on the theme and colors. And you have some adjustment that you can also do about brightness and colors and stuff like that. And I think the default is fine. And I like just a bit darker when I'm working on in the night, you know. So, yeah. Do you have any questions so far? It's not too technical, or
No.
yeah, it's fine. Yeah, awesome. Yeah, so this is on the preferences and the setting, and then you have more stuff that related to the MIDI. So you can set up stuff and adjust it. Yeah.
Just one question. So we have the tracks, and in the tracks, for instance, you have MIDI 1 there.
Yeah.
Let's say it's this equipment, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have many clips there, right? Each clip is like recording a specific recording that I have done, but does it have to be with the same configuration I did there? Imagine, for instance, there I can have plenty of instruments there, right?
You can adjust it, yeah.
Each clip can be a different instrument played there.
And also the same instrument, like
And
like
also the
another.
same.
You can duplicate it, and for example, I can connect this MIDI
Mhm.
to a few tracks, and they will activate like a few tracks in the same time.
Okay, but inside track 1, I have many clips,
Yeah.
right? Each clip is like I can make a specific loop, right?
Exactly.
But does it have to be the same instrument, let's say? Or it can be different?
Well, the clip here, when it's recorded, so it's recorded based on the track.
Yeah, okay.
So it's like the track is basically, yeah, the trail. I think also that this is why they say track in a way, because it's like kind of your way of doing it. Like so if it's like a piano, or here it's a bass. So
Yeah, that's exactly the question. So the track is a specific instrument, like track 1 MIDI piano, and all the clips will be piano.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then you can change the track. And you can, and also you have other stuff that is more advanced, so you can also create in the same track 2 instruments.
Oh, that was the question. Okay.
You can do it.
Okay. How do the clips relate then? They do
So
not
the
relate?
So the clips actually, it's like the kind of the memory of the track.
Okay.
So it just contains what you did.
Okay.
And then you can transform it to something else if you want, and you can transform memory in a way.
Okay.
So you can transform it to audio. So this is another tool that we'll learn.
Okay.
So you can go from MIDI to audio and audio to MIDI. And then it's mean that you have the clips, and then the modular, so that you can change them to adjust them to different tracks in a way.
Okay.
Questions.
Yeah.
First question: if you have multiple like basses, so you have this. You have on track 5, you have like 10 example, and then if you play one, will the rest stop? Can you only play like just one and then not the others, or do you play?
Yeah, you can do it.
And then second question: what will it when you're adding the fade or the fade? What would it look like on this layout?
It's a good question. Well, so it's slightly different because when you have a clip here,
Mm-hmm.
it's similarly to if you have a clip that is basically from left to right here.
Mm-hmm.
And you will see the details of the automation, all of that, in the arrangement. It's way more easy to do it,
Yeah.
and it's supposed to be there. But you have also data that it can be also here. That basically it will be on the envelope or the MPE. It depends on what you do. And the fade, you will see it. If I'm not, if I'm not wrong, it's something that related to here. Like it will show it somewhere here in the envelope. But I think like fading of the clip. So it depends what you mean by fading, but if you're fading the clip, like what you, for example, let's see what we can check. For example, so now I have the clip. And then you want to fade it.
So if I'm pretty sure it's A. What I usually do is A.
Hmm?
I click A and then.
What?
So if you push the letter A on the keyboard.
Yeah, but here it's not like this.
And then it does like that.
Ah, yeah, automation.
Then
It's
make
open the automation.
Then I change from the speaker on to the track volume,
Mm-hmm.
and then I.
This is
press-
automation. What
Mhm.
we see now.
And then.
Okay.
put
When you want
dots
to
in-
do like something like that,
No, but like one dot and then another dot.
like this.
Yeah, and then it goes up.
Yeah.
Versus, or
This is automation of the volume. You also can fade it in different way
Mhm.
from the kind of the clip itself, and we will see it later. But basically, you can do it from here. Oops. Maybe it's not without the A. From the corner when you drag it, so it's like kind of creating this fade here. But this is more like, let's wait with it. But if, for example, I did automation here, and then I'm going to the track here. So now you will see it in the sense, wait a second. You see this kind of red dot?
Mhm.
So basically it show you the automation. So it will show it on the track. So now you see that it go up. Oops. See?
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
So this is how it will look like.
It's reflected here.
Yeah.
What you did there.
Yeah, you got it? And automation, yeah, we'll talk about it. This is when you basically make transformation on the timeline. And then you can see what you did, and then
Mhm.
it's allow you to basically create complex patterns and stuff like that, and adjustment and very precise things.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So in this view, what we're seeing is all the instruments we have and all
Yeah.
the, let's say, short takes of recordings that we did for all the instruments.
Yeah, so this is actually the next thing that I wanted to talk about.
Okay.
It's the arrangement view and the session view.
Yeah, okay.
And the session view, it's actually the big answer of Ableton in comparison to the other DAWs, because the session view allow you to be more modular and to have like scenes that arrange from here. Oops, like first, second, so you can activate the whole scene if you want. Like scene, I mean, it's the row that basically activate the clips in the same time. And it's so sort of it works like a looper of some sort. And and this is like unique thing about Ableton. And you have in the session view basically arrangement that basically I think resemble a band of some sort, because you don't have a linear progression and you don't see like all the time the timeline. So it's allow you always to be on the moment in non-linear way. So you just activate the bass and then you activate the drums and you want to stop it or you stop it, and then it's allow you to be more engaging, I think, and more expressive. And the arrangement, I think, like the name of it is like arranging. So you're organizing, you're changing stuff, you make the fading, the all this stuff, automation, because you see it on timeline. And when you make a change on the timeline, so you have more control there, and you can see and be very precise about it in terms of the time. Yeah. And the key difference is also just here it's vertical and here it's horizontal. But it's the same thing, it's connected, it's just another way to look about it, and this is very good about Ableton, that you can work with both of them if you want also. And also like, yeah, it's matter of like your style of doing it. I dedicate more to the session view, because I came more from the acoustic background, so it's more like, yeah, you record the guitar, you open the clip, you record yourself, and then you just add more layers of it, and you deactivate, activate, and then like you play with the bands in a way. And in the arrangement is more like kind of technical adjustment, and you always hear it in loop, like you, not in loop, sorry, like you start all the time to work on the timeline, so you're always constrained by that, because you're always like towards the beginning to the end, and when you work with the session view, it's more like you dedicate to the session, dedicate to what you want to express.
So you can like choose to listen to your different clips,
yeah,
and see how it feels, and then after you can go put on the other one
exactly.
and get technical with it.
Yeah, this is what I usually do.
That's nice.
And you can also start from the arrangement.
Yeah.
And you can just do this more or less the same thing, probably what you did so far. And I think session view, it's also kind of trying to show you that this is what will be probably in the performance, like live performance in the stage. So also Ableton, the key thing about Ableton, that they started to do this kind of integration of live performance in comparison to the other DAWs that were more into like adjusting stuff and in the studio when you like just for studio setup. But Ableton is for live performance also, and for bands, and because of the session view. Because if you always work in a live performance in the arrangement and you want to do everything, it's like destined in advance, so it's like it's lose the energy of it, it's lose the freedom, it's lose the expressiveness of that. So this is why the session view is so nice, and also when you get used to it and you walk through that, so from here to go to a live performance, it's like it's nothing like in terms of like how you go, like it's the same thing. So it's just to rehearsal until it's like tight enough, and that's it. And the arrangement is also can be in live performance, but and then like it's kind of more DJ stuff. Like you go from the beginning of the song until what you mark as the end of the song, and you can make transformation there, but you have a linear progression.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So we saw the audio, the MIDI, the two different views, and slightly about like the layout. So above you have the BPM here, so you can increase and decrease the BPM. Up here in the left, if you tap, you see the tap here. So if I'm tap it, it's basically based, it's adjust the BPM based on my taps. And link here, it's basically if you want to link it to other Ableton devices, so you can connect different devices and link them. Like I mean, we can connect and then we have the same things happening. So it's good for collaboration and for people in live performance as well. And
I don't see that here. Am I just not looking in the right place?
maybe it's because of the version. I don't know.
Okay, cool. For now, it's done.
You see it?
No.
So maybe it's the version.
No worries. Yeah.
Um,
Probably, yeah, because this is the trial version.
yeah.
It's not going to
It's not supposed to collaborate.
And here is like the time signature.
Mm-hmm.
So you can adjust the beat if you want to make it, I don't know, like Brazilian beats of some sort. So you can adjust it, and then the metronome
Mm-hmm.
will basically be. Why it's I don't hear it. Yeah. So also you can adjust the metronome if you want. So if you want to make it
Mm-hmm.
more classy. So also it's nice to adjust it, and also you can count in. So it's mean when I record it, so it's count before it's start the bar,
Nice.
and also you can adjust the layout of the global grid. The grid, it's basically when you see something, so it's all these kind of lines. So when you adjust the global grid, so it tells like how to count this kind of grid. So if I will change it. So it will change like when I'm starting and doing stuff, and I think like to keep it one, it's a nice thing for the beginning, and then you have like this is the nice thing about the 12 version. So you have the keys, and you can adjust it, and you can see it all the time on the piano roll. And then you, for example, if I'm changing to minor, so it's also changed, and now it's minor here in the piano roll. So what I see here, actually, this is another thing that's important. So actually tab is, if you want to open the arrangement and change it, this is the shortcut. And Shift tab will open like fold and unfold the MIDI editor, I think they call it. Basically the
Mind if
yeah, sure. So yeah, maybe also when I do it, also you can do it because it will help you to memorize that, like the shortcut. The shortcut is always good because in every software, when you have shortcut, it saves times, and it's crucial, I think, when you start, because when you do it from the beginning, it's like it's a habit, and that's it. You don't need to learn it. So tab is basically open and unopen the arrangement and the session view, and shift tab, it's basically open the device or the audio effect the place. So basically devices view, and it's kind of the clip editor or clip view, they call it. So here, for example, if I'm doing shift tab, so it's show me these kind of things. This is the device, this is the knobs that will also sync to it, it's supposed to be. And then like you have different adjustments that you can do here. And the editor, so if you again shift tab, so you see that clip that you did. And then you can adjust the clip. And also it's about the audio, so it's the same thing. Let's, for example, just for the matter of, to show you the difference between how it's look like when it's audio. So I count one, and now it's record the metronome. And now I see the transient, the waveform, and this is the audio clip. So this is the audio track, this is the MIDI track, and basically I have the metronome, and in the audio clip it's slightly different and how it's look like completely different maybe and also like the adjustment that you can do, it's also different. You can adjust the time stretching and all of these kind of things, and also the BPM of it. It's related to the warping, and we also will get into it. Because a lot of the things here, they have their own engine. So the warping engine basically is the thing that analyze the audio and try to map it based on the BPM, that Ableton try to understand what is the BPM. So it's make these kind of mathematics things and then like it says, okay, this is the BPM that I think it is, and then you can adjust it and change it in terms of how you feel like, also the gain. And yeah, I think that's for that. You can loop and unloop. So if it's loop, yeah, it's it's unloop. So it's just timeline of, and then it's when it's end, it's end. So it's also say that here. That's it. And when it's loop, it's just like continuing, and so all these kind of things you will find it in the clip view. And the clip view, like you can adjust basically all what related to your clip. And then shift tab, and then I can see the device, but it's audio, so because it's an audio track, you will not see the device. The device is basically your recording, and you can make some stuff here that basically you have the audio effects that you can call them like devices of some sort, so reverb and so on, these kind of things. So it will be here on the device view. And
I can plug in here.
yeah, sure. Yeah, now it's already an hour. You want to take a water break or something? Or up to
Okay.
yeah, like a few minutes. You have also a coffee. I think instant coffee is not the best, but so I will put some.
As well, it's up, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
I will put an artist that I like for the moment. Let's see if you